tonight. Thank you guys so much for being on. We are just so excited. So we've got a few different people speaking tonight, and let's see here. Let me just make sure that everything is good. I'm just going to quickly put everyone on mute. If you are jumping on the call and maybe this is your first time to Zoom, just know that you don't have to show us your face. We would love to see your beautiful face, but if you do not want to show us your face, that is totally fine. If you just want to be a fly on the wall and listen in, that works. You can definitely turn your camera off. We will make sure that throughout the call tonight that we monitor, if people are hopping on and for some reason their phone's not on mute or something. So, welcome. My name is Kaitlyn Foster. Some of you might be like, okay, my friend Kaitlyn or Erin or someone else, Tara, invited me to this call and I have no idea who you are. I am the mama bear of the Uplift Tribe, aka now called the Fit for His Glory Sisters. So we just recently changed our team name. But here's what you need to know. We are all a group of women who love to help other women get fit and healthy for the glory of God. And that's just who we are summed up. We also love helping other women start their own faith and fitness businesses. And so that is why we are here and why we are excited to share with you guys tonight our stories and just a little bit about how God has used coaching in our life and some of the things that we believed coming into this, maybe lies that you find yourself believing or fears that you feel yourself believing or falling into, much like we did as well in the very beginning of our coaching business or when we were kind of considering the opportunity. And so I have been a coach now for 4.5 years, and it's pretty crazy to think back on. So I'll try to quickly tell you guys my coach story because the reality is I could probably take this whole hour to talk about it. But I became a coach 4.5 years ago. I was actually at dinner with my husband and he said, Kaitlyn, what is your dream job? And I told him, I said, I love women and I love fitness. And I don't know how those two mesh together, but I've seen this girl on Instagram. Anybody else? This story sound familiar? I've seen this girl on Instagram and I don't know what she does, but I want to do what she does. Like I had no idea what this girl did. I just knew that she worked out every day in her bonus room. She had her kids running around, just like grabbing her ankles, like, they're playing with blocks, and she's doing body pump, Les Mills body pump, which Beachbody used to distribute. And she's doing body pump in her living room. And I'm like, this girl is amazing. Like she would post little Instagram videos and I was like, no idea what she does, but I want to be like her. I also loved that she was a University of Tennessee Volunteers fan and she loved Jesus. She was always posting devotionals and just encouraging things that I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen someone in the Christian world, so to speak, kind of take a stand when it comes to health and fitness. And so for me, it was just a really cool opportunity to, see someone kind of pave the way. So I'm telling Brian all of this. I'm like, I have no idea what she does, but I want to be her. And he's like, well, why don't you just reach out to her and see if she can jump on a call and you can pick her brain. At the time, I had no idea she was a Beachbody coach. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And he's like, well, how come? Why not? And I'm like, because she's Insta famous. Like, I'm not going to hit this girl up and be like, hey, want to do a call with me? And he's like, Kaitlyn, what do you have to lose? And I was like, dang it, you're right. He's like, the worst that can happen is that she says no and you're back to where you are right now, which is no. And now I always use that with my coaches whenever we're talking about talking to our friends about this opportunity or whatever. And it's funny how you start to say the things like your mom or like your mentor, whoever that said to you. But yeah, so I messaged her and she was like, let's jump on the phone tomorrow. She was the nicest person ever. And in that moment, I knew nothing about Beachbody, to be completely transparent with you. I just knew that I wanted her to be my mentor. And so I signed up right there, then and there, and I got to know Michelle really, really well. And I quickly realized that like a million different people in my life were doing Beachbody workouts. And I realized that, hang on something. Oh, okay. So I realized that all these people in my life were doing Beachbody workouts. I'd seen my mom do Turbo Fire. I'd seen my dad do P90X. And I was all coming together for me of like, wow, so Beachbody, and I'm a coach now. And like all of a sudden I realized what this company was all about, because I'd seen my mom do Turbo Fire, my dad do P90X, but I had no idea that those were Beachbody programs. And 4.5 years into this now, God has definitely just molded and shaped this entire business for me. And I just remember sitting on my porch of my little 1-bedroom apartment and just being like, Lord, like, I have no idea what this looks like, but I want to stay home one day. That's still my goal, because I haven't yet done that. I want to stay home one day. I want to serve women in health and fitness. Like, I want to have this thing that's like a passion of mine, that I can serve women, but also still be at home and be with my kids. And I just saw such a vision for what that looked like. And so, on the days when I wanted to give up, or, I hit bumps in the road, or what felt like, oh, like, I just don't know if I can be successful at this, I was constantly reminded that at the end of the day, God had called me to it. And it may not have been a burning bush moment, but he had called me to it because he placed a desire in my heart. And just this burning, like, this burning passion to help women get fit and healthy, because I just know what it's like to constantly chase skinny. And I know what it's like to not put God at the center of your health and fitness. And I wanted to help other women do that. And so here I am, 4.5 years in, and just seeing what God has done. I mean, the fact that you ladies are even on this call right now listening is just a testament of God's goodness, because in and of myself, I could never have done any of this. And so tonight is really just about us sharing our stories. And so that's my story of just what God has done. It's been really cool just to see Erin and Kaitlyn and so many other amazing women jump onto our team over the past few years, and just do this thing together. Like, we are a true community of women. I used to say, join my challenge groups and you'll get community. But to be honest with you, that's not where the community happens. The community happens within our team, because we all have the same desire just to help women get fit and healthy, but point them back to Jesus. And it's just it's really cool, because Beachbody is not a Christian company, guys. Like, there's not many teams out there like ours. And that's what you're going to hear over and over again on this call, is that we all like have this same vision for what it looks like to run a business that points people back to Jesus. But that's not something that happens on many teams. And so it's really cool that we all have that same passion and that same desire. And so, so tonight, you guys are going to get to hear from, just so you kind of know, you're like, wait, I don't even know what this call is all about. So you're going to get to hear from Erin and Kaitlyn as well. It's really cool because, my story is that I didn't really add this in, but I have been working this business as a side hustle for the past 4.5 years. So I work a full-time job. I do have the flexibility of working from home, which is incredible, and definitely something that I don't take for granted. But it is still a side hustle business for me. And so I work this business in early mornings. I work this business in late nights, or, after Emmeline goes to bed, never taking away from my time with her and with Brian, but just trying to kind of make it work in those little power pockets throughout my day. I think we all have way more time than we think we do. So it's more about putting down the phone, turning off Netflix, and really taking that time and utilizing it to pour into other women, to create content, to pour into my team, to answer your Instagram messages, to answer your emails, just to really love and serve women. And so that's what I do in the little power pockets of my day. And I definitely have help, but that's kind of how I've made it work. And it's been cool because I have lots of women on my team who are teachers, lots of women on my team who are stay-at-home moms, lots of women on my team who are health and fitness professionals already before Beachbody. But I can just really help those women who maybe are coming on, who have worked full-time or are working full-time, and help them really find that balance. And let's be real, being a stay-at-home mom is a full-time job too. So when I say, if you stay home or whatever, obviously that is a full-time job in and of itself. And so I've been able to really create tools and mentor my team to teach them, like, how do you run this business as a side hustle while like having this full-time job of your family and maybe another job outside the home. And so, but it's cool because tonight you're going to get to hear from Erin next, who is a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids, and how she has really gotten to use this business, and how it's just given her joy, and kind of helped her find herself again, maybe. And she'll get to talk on that. And then Kaitlyn will speak after Erin and just talk about being a fitness professional and how she's kind of weaved Beachbody in. I've known this girl for almost a year now, and knew her for almost a year before she joins me and my team. And so it's gonna be cool to hear from her tonight as well. So I'll let Erin take it away, and then I'll wrap this up at the end and kind of answer any questions you guys have, and also talk a little bit more just about our team specifically. So Erin.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, great. So, like Caroline said, my name is Erin Barrow. I celebrated my 1-year coaching anniversary yesterday. So big day over here yesterday. So exciting. And it's just been like really crazy to see all the stuff that God has done through Beachbody in my life, and that transfers into the life of my family. So a little bit about me. I live in central Illinois in a little tiny farm town, little tiny town. That's why I'm always scared to do these calls, because we're way out in the middle of nowhere with really bad internet. So Caroline can attest to that, because we can never talk. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I've been married to my husband Jason for 5 years now, and we have Bo, who is 3, and Elsie just turned 1 a few weeks ago. So my background is in agriculture. I grew up on a farm. My mom and dad are 3 miles away on our family farm, and my degree is in agricorporate jobs to stay at home. I don't know if there's any other stay at home moms on this call, but it's hard. And it was a culture shock, honestly, when I quit my job and just to stay at home. It was really, really hard. And I have wanted to be a stay-at-home mom my entire life. I just knew that was my calling, and I knew that God had me here at home while my kids were young. But when I quit that job and stayed here with Bo was 2 at the time, I just didn't have that community anymore. I felt like I didn't have a purpose, even though I had kids here and, a husband, and I was taking care of the home. I just lost that little spark and that little purpose inside of me. So Caroline showed up in my newsfeed one day, and I feel like that's, a common theme with all of us. But I just liked what I saw. She combined her faith and her fitness, and she had that joy that I was looking for. So I just always had Beachbody in the back of my head. So fast forward a little bit, I had Elsie in October of last year, and I just kept I'll tell you this little secret before I go on, but I had to talk my husband into letting me be a Beachbody coach. He was really hesitant. So I kept planting those seeds, and finally, when Elsie was 4 weeks old, he said, okay, I'll give you 3 months. So I called Caroline and I said, okay, I'm ready. So that's kind of where my story began. So the first thing I want to encourage you guys in, if you are busy, which we all are, and at home with kids, if I can do this with a 2.5-year-old and a 4-week-old, you can totally do it too, because I just jumped in and it was like the best thing ever. So these are some reasons why I was hesitant to jump in as a coach. The first one was I didn't want to be that girl on Facebook selling something. We've all been there, and we've all got those random messages that just make us feel icky and make us feel like someone's trying to sell us something. And I did not want to be that person. So that held me back for a really, really long time, honestly. So, the second reason I was hesitant is because at 4 weeks postpartum, you are emotional. Your body does not look like your own. And my inner thoughts were saying, Erin, how can you lead someone in a health and fitness journey when you're like way off track with your health and fitness, and you're just trying to get some momentum going after you just had this baby. So I was really, really scared about that. The other thing was my time and my energy was just at an all-time low with a brand new baby, and I was up in the middle of the night every night, just exhausted. How could I add something else to my plate? And lastly, I don't know if Caroline's ever heard me say this, but I honestly thought she was trying to scam me, and this was just a big joke. And just like, when I send off my application, it's going to who knows where, and they're going to take all my money. So that's what I thought. So all these things were going through my brain. But I just, I continually had that nudge, and I just kept praying about it. And I just knew that this was something that was going to bring that joy back in my life. So I sent in my application, I signed up, and now I kind of want to tell you what has happened in the last year. It has been honestly life-changing. And I know that, every Beachbody coach can stand up and say, this has changed my life, but I am proof that this opportunity, these programs, these products change your life. Who am I, just, a little tiny Central Illinois girl here in a little tiny town, and I'm nobody special, but this opportunity has just changed our family. Honestly, it's brought so much joy, which makes me, one, a better wife. When I am happy with myself and happy and confident, I am a better wife. And that translates into being a better mom too, more patient, more joyful, more loving towards my kids when my patience is running thin. So it's just been a huge, huge blessing. When you sign up to be a coach, Caroline, I don't know if you were going to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about it quickly now. When you sign up to be a coach, we learn about these 4 vital behaviors. So these 4 things are at the top of my to-do list every single day, and they're just non-negotiables. So the first thing is just being a product of the product, walking the walk, doing our workouts every day, drinking our shakes. This is something, that is at the top of our to-do list. And how many people get to say that the first thing that they do at their job is take care of themselves and pour time into their own health and fitness. So that's just been a huge blessing, that this business is centered around me taking care of myself and just doing what I preach. So that's really cool. The second, every day, 10 minutes of either listening to a podcast or reading my Bible or reading a book on parenting, or right now I'm reading a book about high performance habits, just being more productive and in our businesses. So just doing something like that every day to grow and learn, so you can in turn pour that into your clients, is really, really cool too. Third thing we do every single day is share your story. That has been a huge blessing to me, because if you would have asked me to do this a year ago, I would have said no. I would have shut my computer and go in the closet or something, because this is not what I do. But sharing my story repeatedly over and over and over has helped me build confidence in myself. And it also helps that I actually really, really believe in these products, and I know that they change lives. So sharing your story when you have that belief is just really easy and fun. So that is something that we do every day. And lastly is cheering others on. I just think that's really cool that as a coach, that's one of our top 4 things that we get to do every single day. How cool is it that we can walk, side by side with other ladies and point them towards Jesus and walk with them in their health and fitness. I honestly can't think of a better, job to have. So those 4 things we do every single day. Now you're probably thinking, Erin, what does your day look like as a stay-at-home mom and a coach? So the biggest thing that has really transformed just how I run my business, and honestly just how my days go, is owning my morning. I get up at 5 o'clock, which is not fun, but I know that it's a discipline that I've had to create in my business. So as a stay-at-home mom, I get up at 5 o'clock. That's when I do my Bible study. That's when I do my personal development. I get some work done then, whether that's like answering emails or creating my Instagram post for the day. I usually do that first thing in the morning. Checking in with my girls, I do that a lot in the morning too. So just doing those basic things first thing in the morning really helps. And then I do my workout because that's one of our 4 vital behaviors. That's one of the top things that I do every morning. So every day looks different as a stay-at-home mom, and now that Bo is in preschool, we have places to go. So I work my business in Power Pockets, and that looks like for me, if I am standing at the stove and stirring a pot of macaroni and cheese, I can send off an email. Or if I lock myself in the bathroom for 5 minutes, I can send off another couple of emails. Just those little tiny pockets of time is when I can work my business. Me and my husband have talked about these evening calls too, and he knows that these are some things that are important to me in my business. So there is some evening work that is done. But as a stay-at-home mom, probably 1 to 2 hours of work total a day, but it happens in 10 to 15 minute increments a day. Okay, so the last thing I signed up and where I'm at now with those hesitations. So the first thing I said was, I don't want to be that girl selling stuff to you. And what I have to say about that is, like, if you sign up to be a coach and you feel like you are selling something and you feel icky about it, you're doing it wrong, because that's not what we want. We don't want salespeople, because, nobody really is attracted to those types of people. So sharing your story and just being authentic and knowing that your life is being transformed by these programs and just sharing that with others has just really been amazing this past year. My next thing that I was scared about was my postpartum journey. And let me tell you that a lot of people can relate to that. I don't know about you, but I don't have a 6-pack. So when I see people on Instagram with the 6-pack abs, I can't relate to that. But a lot of women can relate to walking through postpartum, working out at home with little kids, the exhaustion that comes with having little kids. People can relate to that. So just know that, like, where you are in your journey is okay, and sharing that will attract people who are just like you and walking through those same things. I honestly, that was just a priority thing. We, like Caroline said, we all have more time than we think, but me and my husband had to cut our cable, and we don't have cable anymore. We had to get rid of our Netflix because that was taking a lot, knowing that I want to make this business work, and prioritizing my time around that has helped me a lot in this business. And lastly, this is not a scam, Caroline. You are a real person. I have met you in person. So I was just really, really scared about that, because there's tons of stuff out there on social media, and it's also hard, when we do a ton of stuff through a screen, but just know that, like, we're real people, and this is real life. I'm sitting on my bed in my bedroom just talking to you guys. So just know that. So my encouragement to you, if you are feeling the nudge that this might be something that God is calling you to, just honor that. I put it off for so long, and I was so scared to sign up and start my journey, but honestly, I wish I would have done it sooner. It's been a huge blessing. Emotionally for me, I'm just happier with myself. I feel healthier because I've lost some weight, and I am back into a routine with my workouts, but I just have that joy again. I have that community, that all these women that I get to talk to daily, I have that back in my life. And as a stay-at-home mom, that's just so critical, for mental health. So if you are just feeling that nudge, just honor it, because if I can do this, you can too. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Caroline, back to you.
I'm muted. Classic. Sitting here talking to the screen and nothing's coming out. But it just like gets me teary eyed to hear your story. And I know I've heard it a million times before, but I feel like there's little nuggets that come out every time. And I think it's just cool to see. I'm just thankful. So I'll just tell you this right now. I'm thankful for you and your friendship. And I'm so thankful that God connected us over the internet. I know that we hear a lot of things nowadays about how Instagram is just doing all these terrible things to the world, and but this is living proof that like it can bring women together, and if we use it the right way, God can use it in amazing ways. And so it's just cool to see. I mean, I met Erin this summer at Coach Summit. I posted this over in the comment section, but her husband came up to me, y'all, and he literally like made me pretty much cry after we left. I kind of held it in, but like it was honestly one of the coolest moments for me, Erin, of all of Summit. And I'll be totally honest. He came up to me and he was like, I don't even think you were standing there. I think he like pulled me aside and he was like, Caroline, I just wanted to take a second and I wanted to thank you because this has just been one of the biggest blessings. And it's been so cool to see what God has done in Erin's life through this. And like, he was just like, I want to thank you for all that you have done for my wife. And y'all, it was just so cool. Like, it's just so cool to see what God has done. And like, in that moment, it was just like, like, you know, like, this is so much bigger than Caroline, like over here, like, oh, I want to be a stay-at-home mom one day. Like, this is other people's stories and other women's lives. And so anyways, now I'm like bawling, but I'm just so proud of you. And I just love hearing what God's done. So Kaitlyn, take it away before I cry anymore. And then I'm probably going to cry after I listen to your story. Emotional mess tonight, apparently.
That's so funny. Thank you, Erin. That was so good. I've never heard your story before, so that was really cool for me to hear. So let me just start at the beginning. I met Caroline 1 year before I became a coach, and we actually met on Instagram. I don't know if you like popped up somehow because we had mutual friends or whatever. I don't even know how I got onto your profile, but I was just like, oh my gosh, who is this girl? She's really cool. And then you messaged me and invited me over for a workout because we found out that we both live in the same area. So I came over just one Saturday. We actually had to keep postponing it because it was snowing like crazy, which never happens in Tennessee. And so after a couple weeks of just consistently trying, all she did was open up that invitation of like, hey, come over and do a workout with me in my garage. So I did, and that was the beginning of all of this. But just kind of to let you guys know what I'm going to hit on over the next couple minutes is I'm going to talk about being a skeptic, taking the time to say yes, going all in, how I already have a background in fitness that wasn't Beachbody, and how to be a great coach and still do other workouts too. So to get started, I'm going to be really honest here about some of the things I thought about Beachbody, because I feel like if I've had these thoughts, that I'm not the only one. All I knew about Beachbody, I'll be honest at this point, was I think a handful of years ago, there was like a Beachbody conference or something in Nashville, because I remember seeing just like, I feel like when you watch all these zombie apocalypse movies and there's just like herds of people like walking down the street, it was just insanity in downtown. And I was like, who are these people and what are they doing? And they're crazy. Just, it was wild. And I was like, this is whatever. This is weird. So that was the only recollection of anything I had about Beachbody. I grew up doing P90X with my mom. But I had no idea that that was connected to Beachbody. So like, I just really had no idea what Beachbody was. I had never looked at it online, whatever. I have no idea what it is going into this. But kind of my preconceived notions about it were that 4 things. It was only for people who weren't serious. It would only burn calories, but it wouldn't get you stronger. They just pushed commercialized products, and being a Beachbody coach would be embarrassing and demeaning if I wanted a serious career in fitness. So what I know now is that it's for people who have never been into fitness, and also strong people who have worked out for years, because it's flexible and it can work for you. So if you have 2 hours to work out or just 20 minutes, there's just so many different options for you that you can utilize their different programming. If you love going to the gym, you can keep doing your thing, but also have Beachbody programming on days where like you have to be at home. Maybe you're busy, maybe you're traveling a little bit and just need that consistency. If you want to lose weight, gain muscle, or anything in between, there's a program for you. And so going into that and seeing all of this, I've just been really impressed over and over again, probably because I had such a low expectation of what Beachbody was about. But coming into it with a fitness and nutrition background, I've really been very picky as I've watched the way they coach classes together, things they put in the plans, and just time and time again, I've just been really impressed with everything they do. So number 2 is that you can push your own pace. So we know that growth happens because you choose to grow. So you can make the workouts harder by going faster or lifting heavier weights. It's not like you're going to get stagnant in a workout program that they have. There's always room for growth. And the thing I loved about CrossFit, I have loved about it, I still do it, is that their programming hinges on what we're going to call constantly varied movements. So it's this idea that if you train in a bunch of different areas, different muscle groups, different ways, you've got cardio, you've got lifting, you've got, long endurance workouts, fast, quick workouts, is that you'll be the most healthy version of yourself. And so I'm a real believer in that the only wrong way to work out is to only work out one way. So if you're only doing all thing, you're never outside hiking or doing some weightlifting or doing all these different things, that you're just going to kind of pigeonhole yourself and not truly grow. But there's just so much that Beachbody offers that you don't ever have to worry about that. And number 3 was kind of about the products and their training programs. They are really thoroughly researched products that have come about from a need. So some of the people within Beachbody that created like Shakeology, or the performance line, it wasn't just, let's create more products to push on people. It was, hey, we're seeing that there is this need that's happening in our health. There's a gap here and we want to fill that gap. So now they've gone out and done all this research and created they really have a small line. There's not a ton of products, but the things that they have are really good quality and really do help you. And then number 4 is that this is another tool that I can use as a coach. So for anyone who is in the fitness or health industry or has been doing coaching of any capacity, this is another tool and resource you have to reach people. You can have an established career as a trainer and simply add Beachbody at-home programming to your portfolio and be able to serve more clients or serve clients in a different way. So I've actually got one of my clients is a friend who I did CrossFit with at my gym. And she still loves doing CrossFit, but she travels a lot. And she just has not ever been consistent because it's really hard on your body to do CrossFit every day. I've spent a lot of years being really sore to the degree where I realized that I wasn't truly living my healthiest, best life because I was just either, not that I got injured. A lot of people think like, oh, people just get injured. CrossFit is so bad for you. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But I was really sore all the time. And so I just didn't have training that I could do consistently without feeling like I was actually degrading my level of health and fitness a little bit. And so what I've been doing is, to be honest, I've been going to the gym 3 days a week, and that's kind of my regular schedule. I feel like I like it like that. I feel a lot better, and I don't ever want to give up on CrossFit because I love that. I love the Olympic weightlifting and stuff, but I've been doing Beachbody programming on my own at home, and I've actually found that I've not lost strength at all like I thought maybe I would, but I've actually gotten stronger. I feel more stable in my movements in the gym, and even when I move around in my everyday life, because I've got a stronger core and I just brace better. And even honestly, when I'm in the shower, like washing my hair, instead of like bending backwards, I feel like I'm just stronger in my core, like to where my lower back doesn't hurt when I'm bending up, and just, little things that are so good just from the consistency and having all that programming at my fingertips and being able to do that at home with my schedule. I also want to talk now about what's different about Caroline's team, because as I've kind of gotten into the Beachbody world a little bit, I'm seeing that there are a lot of people and a lot of different teams and just a lot going on. And so now you're looking at, well, what makes this team different? Why would I want to be a part of this group of women as opposed to the other group? Some things is that Caroline really cares. Go ahead, just go get some tissues. She really cares about empowering women from the inside out. She lives and breathes her mission, and she just wants you to be better. Like, she's never going to give up on you. And like you can see with me, I for the first like 11 months out of 12 months that I've known you, I didn't even know that she was a Beachbody coach, guys. She wasn't pushing that on me. She wasn't constantly shouting Beachbody from the rooftops. She was just wanting to help and serve other women. And so when she felt that it was right or appropriate, or maybe there was something in like your life where maybe this would help you or benefit you, she's just living day in and day out her own health and fitness journey. And out of that is outpouring all of these other things. And so when she did tell me that she was a Beachbody coach, and I knew that she was kind of looking to add some women to her team, she never even directly asked me, would you like to be a coach? And I texted her and was like, hey, I want to be on your team, because who she was and what she said to me through her actions over watching her for a year were so loud and strong that even though I honestly had zero desire to be a part of Beachbody, I had 100% desire to be a part of her team. And that's what made all the difference. Some other things and I think it's so cool because I've always been trying to piece this together for years of how do you serve Jesus and be in fitness? And there's so many little things that go into that, but like being able to glorify God through what you're doing as you work out is just a really cool idea. And she just lives that out in such an awesome way. I'm going to plug this awesome video that we filmed together that's on my YouTube channel that I'll she really talks about like her beginning and the first day she did a workout with her grandmother and like just how it's evolved from there, and how to include Jesus in your journey. But you don't have to do exclusively Beachbody. I know a lot of people, well, let me just go through this. So you can have other styles of fitness or group classes or lifestyle hobbies that you do. Like if you love hiking, if you love dancing, if you love swimming, and that's kind of been your mode of fitness, you can continue to do those things. You don't have to give one thing up for Beachbody. I've been looking at Beachbody as this additional tool and resource I have to not only offer to women who just weren't in my gym. If a woman wasn't coming to a gym to where I was training, like I couldn't reach her. And I had so many women at church, and I've been running this workout group on the weekends for years now. And I just had no way of reaching out to people and being able to bring them into the fold of what I was doing because I was cut off by where I was operating out of. And so now I've got all of these programs and nutrition programs and extra tools that I can offer. And it's just been so incredible because, I can do both things now. And honestly, I know it's a big investment for a lot of people who, like, I've got a girl right now and she said she has never invested in herself like this. And it was so scary for her to jump into a group and spend any money on herself because she just didn't think she was worth it. And so this has been huge for her, but I kind of take that for granted sometimes, I think, because I've been in fitness and that's kind of been my priority for years. And so all of my money, like, that's where it goes. I've kind of directed my lifestyle to be one of living, breathing health and fitness. And so sometimes I forget that is a huge deal when money comes into play of like, it's important to invest in yourself before you feel like you're worth it, before you feel like you see results, to say like, I'm going to do this and I can do this and this is worth it. Where was I? But yeah, sorry, super lost my train of thought. I was like so on one thing. And it's just that you can add it on to things that you're already doing because it really is not that expensive. And so when you're investing, it's like what you have to jump out and do is this little bit, and what you get back is so much because you enter Beachbody for an entire year, and it's less than a regular gym membership where you would have no programming and no community, but you're getting all of this, like walking through with these groups of women, daily communication, daily programming, nutrition assistance. And with Caroline's team, like, we're building out some things that we're going to be releasing soon that is above and beyond just what Beachbody offers. And so it's just a really cool tool to use, whether, you have never been in fitness before, whether you are already in fitness and you're looking to add this to your portfolio. Beachbody doesn't have, like I said earlier, it doesn't have a ton of products to push, but the few ones that they do have, they really care about and are really well researched. And so having that to offer to people is a really big deal. I have been on the side of fitness where I have lost a lot of my time and zeal for being in this arena because I was just trying to create all this content. If you're creating all the programming from scratch, it takes up a lot of time, and where you were going to function best as a coach is where people can jump into a preset program or system like with Beachbody, where you've got all the workouts. They can pick what they want for their goals. They can get that nutrition help. They can get some supplementation there. And where you're supposed to work as a coach is not creating and giving that to people. But when people are going through that process, when they get stuck, that's where we do our best work as coaches, because we get to just say, hey, I feel you. Let's talk about why we're here and like what you're really struggling with, and get them over and through that stuck place. So being able to have, I'm blown away. I mean, I've even looked at recently with one of my friends who's opening up a new gym, like creating software to be able to manage clients and help them as we can, and looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars in investors and all this mess. And then right here at my fingertips was all of the stuff that Beachbody has created for almost nothing that I had to invest into it to be able to offer this to everyone. I've just been so blown away, because that's huge. No other company that you're going to get into, even if you were at a gym, you would be paying way more for the resources there. And with Beachbody, you just get everything you need to serve people. So whether you have been in fitness or whether you haven't been, like, you don't have to know zilch about health and fitness and nutrition yet. You just need to know where to go find the answers. So you just walk through it with people and say, hey, let's figure this out together. I know that there's this resource over here. Let me connect you to the resource. And I don't know, I keep saying that it's like a great tool, because I just almost envision it as like I have this tool belt on, and I've kind of got a nutrition certification over here, a fitness certification over here, and then over here is all my Beachbody stuff. And whenever I meet someone, I just get to serve them, because I've got all these tools now on my belt, and I can just, kind of bring them into the fold of that. It's all really simple, guys. Like, you just show up for yourself, and you're going to see that when people see that what you're doing is genuine, they're going to want to get on board, and there's going to be a level of trust there. So if you're at all interested in leading a healthy life and living longer and being happier, then it begins here. And coaching naturally flows out of that. And I'll be honest, I've been a competitive athlete, and I don't actually like spending hours in the gym. So you can love fitness or not really enjoy it, but you can still do it and invite people to it. And Beachbody is just so, it's so flexible that it works for your want to serve. If people are not coming to your gym, maybe they're scared, maybe they're women at your church, wherever someone is at in life, Beachbody can be right for them, because there's so many different programs and available options. And one of the most simple ways that you can get started and feel comfortable with, offering things to women and asking them to come on board with you for more, is to just invite women over for a workout. You live somewhere where there is a woman nearby, surely, that can drive to your house and just join you in your Beachbody workout. And so I've been inviting women to come over to my garage, and it's not cute. And I've got like a couple things I throw out on the floor so that it's not a dirty garage floor. And that's all I have right now. And I knew it wouldn't be perfect, but you just have to get started. So I've built a level of trust with a growing group of women, because over the last year and a half, every Saturday I show up. And for a long time I was programming, and that got really exhausting. And so now we just come over and we just follow the Beachbody workout, and instantly, they're like, I like this. I want to know more about what you're doing, because I want to take this into my everyday life. So yeah, I guess my part in what I'm saying is that I had a lot of reserves coming from the professional field, and I just have been really impressed with everything I found in Beachbody, and especially in Caroline's team. Like, what she does is so authentic. And I mean, I feel like we're such good friends now. We're just walking together along this journey, and that's all you have to do is serve the woman who is a half step behind you. You don't have to have all the answers, but you remember what it feels like to be like just that step where you were a couple hours ago, yesterday, a month ago, last year, 2 years ago, and you know how it feels to be there. So just turn around and just grab the woman that's back there still struggling, and just kind of pull her up with you. That's all we're doing here. Whether you're using it for a professional, coaching business where you've been in this career, whether you're brand new and you're just loving what you're experiencing and wanting to invite other women into that. It's really all it's about. It's pretty simple, honestly. That's all I got.
that. Thank you so much, Kaitlyn. You guys are so awesome. And that is why you're a part of our amazing team, because you guys just have incredible hearts for other people and serving people. And yeah, it's so cool just to see how God's using you guys. But hopefully you ladies, are, if I just pray that if you heard anything tonight, you heard that you don't have to be in perfect shape. You don't have to, have it all together. You don't have to have a fancy office. You don't even honestly have to have a laptop, a computer. Like, you just really need a phone and a heart for serving people, and want to invest in your own health and fitness and show up and be consistent. And it's really that simple. And it's just so cool to see, again, what God has done. I mean, I have women on my team who have been able to walk away from full-time jobs as personal trainers. I've had women on my team who have been able to ease the transition of staying home. I've had women on my team whose husbands have been able to take other positions that they really wanted because they are able to kind of supplement that income. I'll say for me and Brian, our goal over the past 4 years has been, hey, Caroline, for me, hey, when I have kids, I want to be able to stay home. And while I haven't gotten to stay home yet, it's not because I haven't matched my income. It's because we've just kind of my husband's had some job changes over the past few years. But it's been cool to see. My point in saying that is I never want to lead with finances of saying, oh, you can make all this money with this opportunity. And as a coach, like, can you? Absolutely. But I don't want you to join us because of that. I want you to join us because you have a passion and a heart for serving women in health and fitness, and you are wanting to show up and be committed and be consistent and love on women, and maybe turn that into your full-time job. Hopefully turn that into your full-time job one day, if that's something that you desire. But yeah, it's just so cool to hear the different women and the different stories. Obviously, Erin and Kaitlyn, I invited them on the call tonight and I said, hey, will you share your story? Because their stories are so different, right? And honestly, they represent literally 100 women on our team who have a lot of different stories. Some women are discount coaches and they just do it because they want 25% off of the product. Some women are, like, hey, I'll help one person a month. Some women are, hustling with this and they're running and they're trying to work as much as they possibly can because they just love it that much, or they want to grow their team or whatever, wherever they are. Everyone has different goals. And I think that's the beauty of it, right? Is that, like, this is your business. And so if you decide to say yes to this opportunity of joining us as a coach on our team, know that at the end of the day, you're your own boss. This is your business. You get to decide what it looks like. You get to decide what direction you take it. You get to decide, if you are going to work it an hour a day or 3 hours a day or 5 hours a day. It's really up to you to decide. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that, Beachbody allows us to, they basically give us this and say, here you go, and amazing resources and opportunities, but we get to make it what we want. And that's the beauty of what we do as coaches. And I love what Kaitlyn said. I always tell people that. I'm like, it's easy to be like, well, man, like, I haven't worked out, like, consistently in, 6 months. And I'm like, hey, did you work out today? Yeah. Did you work out yesterday? Yeah. Well, guess what? There's someone at home who's laying on their couch right now, who's watching Netflix, who hasn't worked out in over a year. And so guess what? You're one step ahead of them because you worked out today. And so it's literally just you constantly pursuing the journey of being better and just literally helping that person get from where you were to where you are right now. And, that's literally as easy as it is. And, yeah, so that's just the beauty of coaching. I love Erin kind of wrapped up the 4 things that are really vital to your business as a coach, of just being a product of the product. Obviously, we want coaches who want to live this out, who want to who have the same mission and vision as us, right? Like, you probably wouldn't really work really well with our team if you didn't have the same vision. We want women who have the same vision and can jump on board with that. We want women who really want to serve women in health and fitness, who want to hustle, who want to work hard, who want to be consistent and disciplined. And that's who we're looking for. Now, I didn't say that you have to have the same exact goals as we do in the business, but who are going to show up. Women who are going to, like I said, be a product of the product, who are going to live it out, and use these products to better themselves. I always say the second that a coach stops taking care of themselves is the second that their business is going to start to decline, because you can't serve or fill other people up from an empty cup. If you're not taking care of yourself, there's no way you're going to go be able to take care of other people. And so that has to be the first thing you do as a coach. And then secondly, just loving on people, just recognizing them and shouting them out, and celebrating them, literally. Like, that's what we do as coaches, is celebrate other people. And then the third thing is that we constantly want to find ways that we can just share our story with other people and invite them to join us. And that's obviously super important. And then so that's kind of what it looks like to be a coach, and what the day in and day out looks like, and the 4 things that we really make a priority. So yeah, that's a little bit about coaching. So let's talk next steps really quick as we kind of wrap things up here. If you have a question and you're listening and you have a question, you can definitely drop it in the chat box. I'll answer those right after I kind of wrap this up. But if you're listening tonight, and maybe you're 2 types of people, maybe you're like, hey, this sounds amazing, but I don't think coaching's for me. I think that I want to be a challenger. I want to jump in one of y'all's challenge groups. I want to get fit and healthy myself. And I want to be a client that you are serving, Caroline, or, whoever else is on this call, whatever coach connected you to this. Okay. If that's you, know that we want to help you do that. Like, that's why we're here. We're here to help you get fit and healthy. That's a desire of our hearts, is to serve you in that. And so reach out to the coach that invited you. Tell them, hey, I'm ready to jump in. We have different packages for our challenge groups. And right now, this month, we are offering $20 off of our challenge packs, which, guys, literally never happens, like, ever. I don't recall it happening over the past, at least this year, it hasn't happened. So it never happens. And so if you're going to jump in, now is the time. $20 off. You can literally get a year of Beachbody On Demand, which is $99 typically by itself, and a bag of Shakeology, which is typically $129 by itself, for $140. Like, those 2 things put together for $140, and you are our client for the next year, because you have Beachbody On Demand when you purchase that challenge pack. Kaitlyn just talked about being a CrossFit member. Guys, you know that CrossFit gyms are like $130 a month? Like, that's $120? Yes, exactly. And so...
No, I said $200.
$200 a month? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so guys, my whole point is that a challenge pack, even though it sounds like a lot, $140 for an entire year, like, that is an incredible deal. So, if that is something that you're interested in, and if you're interested in joining our team, it's actually the exact same price. So you'll buy a challenge pack and you'll get started with a challenge pack. We typically have a $40 coach sign-up fee, but when you purchase your challenge pack, that fee is waived. And I hear people say sometimes, oh, $140 to sign up as a coach. And I'm like, you're literally paying what a challenger pays. You're paying just to start your own health and fitness journey. Because, again, like I said, you have to be a product of the product if you want to lead from the front. It would literally be like me showing up to a Bible study group and being like, okay, guys, like, we're going to go over John tonight. But guess what? I didn't really bring my Bible. So, I mean, I guess we'll just do this together. No, like, you have to lead from the front. You have to live it out yourself, right? You have to be a product of the product. You can't ask someone to do something you're not doing. And so having the challenge pack gives you everything that you need. And then after that, you just pay $15 a month to be a coach. That's it. You do have to buy or sell $50 worth a month to be an active coach. But that's really pretty simple to do. And and you'll get 25% off of all the products as a coach as well. So even if you're listening, you're like, hey, I think I just want to be a discount coach. That works too, wherever you are in that. And so, I mean, I guess that's pretty much everything. I don't see any questions over here. Does anybody have any questions? You can drop them in the chat box. Thank you guys so much. Did I miss anything, Kaitlyn or Erin, or anything that you can think of? Thank you guys so much for being on. And we are recording this, so I'll put this on YouTube and share this out with you guys. if you just want to rewatch something. But like I said, we're going to put the ball in your court. So we will follow up with you later this week just to check in and see what you decided. But just know that the ball's in your court, and if you're ready to jump in, let us know. I will say that if you watch this live video and you decide to either join a challenge group or become a coach, we do have a little gift for you if you end up signing up. It's a really cute headband that says "Getting Fit for His Glory," and so we will give those out to everyone who becomes a coach after tonight's call if you are prompted to sign up from this call. So, Kaitlyn?
Yeah, one last thing I wanted to mention is that there are a ton of training tools that I've even been helping Caroline put together. So I've seen all this stuff and it's amazing, guys. So whenever you come on to the team, it's not just like, okay, well, here's your beach body. Now go out and find some people and do your thing. And if you have a problem, check in with us. It's a very comprehensive. There is business training if you are wanting to grow your social media platform, practical Instagram tools, everything from organization to help you branding and getting jump started in your business. There is almost no end to the assistance and tools that Caroline's provided for her team. A lot of things that even after being in marketing and whatever for industry myself for years and years, I've learned a lot of things from her because she just has so much to give and to share that you are never at any point going to be alone or overwhelmed because she's got so much stuff that she's provided. So that needed to be said.
We have plenty of resources here. And I will say, I have been working full-time in marketing for Red Bull North America for almost 10 years full-time. So I have an extensive background in marketing and have a degree in marketing. So just a lot of we really like marketing around here is what I'm going to say. So if you are like, hey, I have no background in any of that, we definitely have so many tools for you guys just to help you kind of learn and get started. And so, yeah. And we have an amazing new coach mentorship called the Holy Hustle Academy that you'll get access to and get to walk through as a brand new coach as well. So plenty of trainings. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on tonight. If you have any questions, I mean, literally any, feel free to hit us up. We are here for you. We're here to serve you. And thanks so much for just jumping on tonight. I hope you guys have an amazing night. And hopefully we talk soon. Thanks, everyone.